Way back Wednesday, Super Bowls played on this date. Super Bowl 51 in 2017, better known as 28-3. That was the deficit the Patriots were facing. Tom Brady threw for 466 yards. Here's the catch that Hawk showed you earlier by Julian Edelman. It would be the first Super Bowl to go to overtime where James White would score the game winner, his third touchdown of the night. The Patriots would pull off one of the great and consequential comeback wins in the history of sports. They won it 34-28. Okay, so with that thought in mind, Matt Ryan was the losing quarterback in that Super Bowl. He never made it back.
Yep.
Who was the youngest quarterback at the time of his second Super Bowl loss?
After much deliberation, Greeny, I mean, we had Jim Kelly. We know he lost 4. We know John Elway. Final answer, Hawk.
We're going to go with John Elway.
Wow. That's right. John Elway is correct. That is well done. In fact, he's the only one. He is the only one who's under the age of 30. It's Elway was 27 years old. Kelly was next, so you were right on it. Followed by Tom Brady, Fran Tarkenton, Craig Morton, Roger Staubach, Kurt Warner, and Peyton Manning. Very well done. So that's one kind of history. Let's talk about another.
I've never had a team that I didn't believe could win the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs have won! The Chiefs have won! You're the man! It is a dynasty!
Legendary, man. I can't say anything. I want to get 3, though.
You can't doubt the Chiefs! You can dislike the Chiefs! You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs!
A third opportunity to make history.
We're going for that 3-peat. First time in NFL history we doing it.
So, by now you have spent 10 days hearing people say the Chiefs can make all kinds of history in Super Bowl 59. But exactly what history is it they can make? I'm glad you asked. The most obvious is they can become the first team to win 3 straight Super Bowls, but you already knew that. So let's get a little more specific. Let's start with Travis Kelce. He is this win away from tying the Super Bowl record for most wins by a tight end and from becoming only the 3rd player ever to win 4 Super Bowls and be named to 7 All-Pro teams. The others are Ronnie Lott and Jack Lambert. Next up, there's Andy Reid. As he chases Bill Belichick and Don Shula on the all-time wins list, the three-peat would put him in ridiculous company in football history. Curly Lambeau and Vince Lombardi are the only coaches ever to win 3 straight NFL championships. One of them has a stadium named for him. The other is the name on the trophy. And then, of course, there's Patrick Mahomes. There are quarterbacks who have done what he has done, but no one at the pace he's doing it. A win would make him the 4th quarterback to win 4 Super Bowls, but the first to do it before turning 30. His greatness transcends the NFL in so many ways. Here's an example. The company he would keep with 4 titles and 2 MVPs in his first 8 seasons, that's DiMaggio, Mantle, Guy Lafleur, and Bill Russell. So you're trying to tell me I should be getting tired of these guys. That's ridiculous. We are seeing unprecedented greatness collectively and individually. I'm not sure why anyone would want me to say I've had enough of that. That's what I think. And a lot of this was when I wrote that yesterday. I did a bunch of radio interviews yesterday, and I had people all over this country saying to me, Greeny, I'm not even watching. I'm sick of the Chiefs. I can't watch the Chiefs. I'm done with the Chiefs. And that was what inspired that essay. You're tired of watching unprecedented greatness? You're tired of watching a player that someday we're going to talk about with the greatest players that ever lived in any sport? You're tired of watching a big, lovable teddy bear of a coach? And Travis Kelce was basically Rob Gronkowski reincarnate? D-Wood, help me with this. I don't understand all of the backlash.
It's easy. It's like what you had said in the meeting, boy. About the
you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, Batman, right?
That's it. It's really that simple. I mean, listen.
Yep.
I was part of a dynasty. First we were the Q story.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you just keep winning. It's like, damn, I'm tired. Why the Patriots got to win all the time? That's where we are as a society. Look at that big fella right there.
That a 2-pack?
Right. I mean, we were just a Q story going up against
getting the greatest show on turf that we got tired of.
A lot of people.
The grocery store.
They looked at the greatest show on turf like, okay, that's a dynasty. Then we come along. I just think that as a society, we always infatuated with what's next. What's the new toy that we could be talking about instead of just looking at, just admiring what we're watching with our own eyes right now with Patrick Mahomes and his Chiefs team.
I get excited about the Chiefs because it's like people get bored with it, and I get excited about the greatness. Like, we've never seen anybody win 3 in a row. That means for as much incredible coaching as we've had in this league, as many incredible players, nobody has been able to put together 3 championships in a row. And it does play to their greatness. If they win this, they're the best dynasty in NFL history. I mean, you look at the amount of AFC championships they've been a part of, the amount of Super Bowls.
Well,
they're what?
Modern day history, I would say.
Yes, in modern day history. Which
free agency.
I'm a millennial. That's kind of all I consider.
Rosters change fast and stuff because the 70 Steelers won 4 and that not 3 in a row.
The Steelers of the 70s won 4 out of 6 Super Bowls. The Chiefs right now are in their 5th Super Bowl in a 6-season span and could be on the verge of winning their 4th. The dynasty that would eclipse it would be what the Packers did in the 60s, the Lombardi Packers. But that's an entirely different era. We don't consider that modern football.
Right.
The dynasties that we would be talking about in this context are the Steelers of the 70s, the Niners of the 80s, the Cowboys of the 90s, and then sort of 2 different iterations of the Patriots, right? There was the early ones, the teams D. Wood was on, and then the later ones, they made 3 straight Super Bowls, and it was the Eagles in the middle who kept them from three-peating.
But we hated all those. Right? Everybody got tired of it, right? Listen, nobody wants to see John Wick 6. You know what I mean? It's all good, man. And nobody wants to know the ending of the story, right? We like to be surprised with the ending, and that's what we're talking about. So when you look at this dynasty, yes, it is a dynasty, but like we're just tired of saying it. We want the underdog. Americans love the underdog, and at some point, every one of these dynasties were the underdog.
But here's the thing. It's one thing to be rooting against them, which I would understand. People would root against those teams and that kind of stuff. And I myself find myself rooting against them. I'd like to see some of these other. I wanted to see Lamar win it. I wanted to see Allen win it. But it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to say, I can't even stand watching them anymore.
Yes.
You know, there is a sentiment out there, and that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom.
Because how many fan bases have had their dreams crushed during this dynasty by the Chiefs? So you building your haters up.
But how many fan bases were crushed by Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the 90s?
Me.
They didn't hate him. I was there. He didn't get. People didn't stop watching them. They drew more people watched that than ever watched anything.
No, Scottie Pippen's my cousin. I cried in the car. I hated him. I wanted him to lose. He's family.
But I'm telling you, I was with those teams. Jordan would get standing ovations on the road routinely, not in the finals.
Mahomes get some all-time shoes that I'm going to rock for 20 years, then I like him too.
I think what's underappreciated is their football because they're so in your face in so many other ways. When you think of those Patriot dynasties, what they're known for is do your job. Football is the only thing that matters. I said it in the pre-show, but the Chiefs are the Patriots with more media availability and better marketing agents. And it's like when you think of them, you don't just think of football. You think of Taylor Swift. You think of the commercials. You think of State Farm and all the ways that they are truly enjoying their success. And it feels like people hate that even more than they did when the Patriots were only focused on winning ball games.
You know, sometimes I'm called Buck Nasty, you know what I'm saying, the original hater, you know what I mean?
OG hater, man.
And that's
what
it is. It's like, man, it's overexposure. You can't get away from the Chiefs. You turn your TV, they're there, right? They play. You watch football, they're there. I mean, I think it's a sign of respect that they're so hated. That just means how dominant they are and how much we can appreciate them. But we appreciate them when they're gone, like Greeny.
You don't find it funny? Like most geniuses, I will not be fully appreciated until after my time. You don't find it funny when Andy says fumble-a-rooski or whatever it is that he's doing in that commercial?
I like the commercial where he talked about the nuggies. Where he talked about
I don't know. We'll see. One way or another, it is time to pick this thing as only D. Wood can. Welcome to the most dangerous segment. Big man, tiny helmet. Oh, it hit me right in the chin.
Turn to the side, turn to the side.
Oh, that hit me. I got hit again. Holy smoke.
I think that might be my best.
Okay, so here's how we're doing this today. I got an extra pair of glasses over here, but okay, so I guess we don't need them. Okay, here we go. Here's the story. We're going to do 3 picks. The first of them is going to be which team will record the first sack in the Super Bowl. D. Wood will make a pick. Then we're going to do which team will score the longest touchdown. D. Wood will make a pick. and then you will pick the game itself and you will smash the helmet. So let's start with the sack. Which team and who will record the first sack in Super Bowl 59?
So I got Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going with Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
I'm going with Chris Jones. I know, listen, when you talk about Jalen Hurts, one thing about him, he's turnover averse. He would rather eat the ball than put his team in harm's way. And I think at some point, early in the game, Chris Jones is going to move along that offensive line. He'll find a matchup, and he'll get the first sack of the game.
Okay, so let's put that Chiefs helmet down there. Right. And now we go to the next pick. Which team will score the longest? All of these are bets you can make on ESPN Bet. Which team will score the longest touchdown in the Super Bowl?
That would be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
They got all the playmakers that you need to have those explosive plays. Where you talk about Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. But I'm going with Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon, listen, they're going to bottle him up. They're going to commit to trying to stop him. But at some point, I think some point early, Saquon is going to rip something off big time in this game.
Okay, and then now we have saved the best for last. Come on, Han, get out here. I got an extra pair of glasses. Stand in. Here we go. Chiefs, Eagles. The Chiefs are a 1.5-point favorite. All these lines, all these bets, all these props from ESPN Bet. And now, officially, D. Wood will smash the losing team. Down goes Philly.
Yes.
Squash. You're picking the three-peat.
I'm picking the three-peat. Listen, I think if you just look at the teams from top to bottom, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are the more talented team. But I'm not betting against Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes and company in this moment in time, playing for history. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I only see one green on there. Bart, how do they do it?
Well, listen, they lean on them, they wear the Chiefs down, and they take them to deep waters and drown them. I think, Saquon Barkley, the addition of Saquon Barkley with this massive offensive line, you should know this, D. Wood, wins in the fourth quarter.
On, who do you think? You're not on?
I'm all about the dynasty, so for me.
Yeah, I can't bet against them. I picked Buffalo 2 weeks ago, and Joe Fortenbaugh's making fun of me as a result. All right,
Great.
We'll see if they are flattened in that regard.